Hey there, internet friend, it's Jason from Drink the Paint Water, and I'm excited because today I'll be working on a drawing that just squeezes perfectly into my mission statement of creating art that is weird and whimsical with a dash of dark humor. That's right, I'm talking about a commission, next in the series of commissions for my friend Lou over at DandyLion Games, and we're gonna draw a spooky Spider-Man answering the door on Halloween Eve. Let's do this!
Well, I should say Halloween evening, not like All Hallows Eve, but the night of. Anyway, the premise of his book, Trick or Treat, which is a module for the Derelict Club RPG, which is a game from my friend Lou over at DandyLion Games. The premise is that these characters are trick-or-treaters going to different doors throughout a subdivision, and the book features art from a bunch of artists, including myself, and outlines the different characters that these the oddball characters that these kids are going to encounter throughout the night. So this is the second in a series of my drawings for him. The first one was a nice lady dressed up like a little kitty cat and answering the door. And this next one, he wanted to get a little weirder with it, so I thought I would have like a full-grown man in a spider costume handing out a bowl of candy. But then in the background, there are actually bodies hanging, all wrapped in web, all wrapped in the thread, silky thread, like a bunch of little dwarves waiting there to be eaten. And he wanted, the second one to be just a little bit off, but not entirely too sinister. I mean, those could be Halloween decorations, right? Or they could be dead bodies. So I started this one off like I normally do for my interior drawings, and that is by doing a blue line sketch in Procreate on my iPad Pro, which is a very cool digital drawing program. I wanted to just kind of get the layout for this little spider guy, and then I printed out onto Bristol board with the blue lines. Actually, I take it over to Photoshop and kind of adjust the levels a little bit just to make the lines even more faint. And then I print it out on Bristol board and tape it down to a board and then get to it with some India ink. Now, if you've seen my videos before, I always use Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink. I really enjoy how it flows, how it stays water resistant after it dries. You can do an ink wash right over it or watercolor or anything right over it. After it's dried, it's not going to pick up and smear or anything like that. And it's very light fast. Like if it got a little sunlight for a little while, it's not going to fade or anything for a long time. So I really enjoy it. So this is just me using various brushes to paint and draw with Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink. Alright, now that all the solid blacks and the line work are in, I'm doing a little ink wash, which is, again, with that same ink, Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink, black, but just a little dab of ink on my palette there, and a whole bunch of water, a whole bunch of paint water, if you will, ink water. Drink it. It makes a nice smooth gray. I love it, and you kind of see it just drawing there in this time lapse. It's kind of cool to see it in the time lapse. These are sped up between like 8 and 10 times how fast I actually draw. Anyway, I enjoy the ink wash because it just goes on nice and smooth, and you can do several layers. Once it dries, you can kind of see how dark it's actually going to be. You can go in with another layer and darken up certain areas to create shadows and depth and everything like that. So again, just a very zen sort of exercise. I really enjoy drawing with ink wash. I think it gives a really nice rich tone to everything. I'm not sure why I gave him Crocs. I just thought it would be funny. It kind of mirrors all of the eyeballs there on his forehead, the holes in the Crocs. But just got him in a full spider suit, but he's wearing Crocs and has questionable bodies hanging behind him. Alright, now I'm coming in with a dip pen, and I was having some trouble here at the very beginning because I was just trying to use it off the very shallow well in my ink palette over there, and it just wasn't filling the pen up enough, and was getting these really scratchy, terrible lines. So I decided just to pull out the entire bottle of India ink and dip it in there, and it came up with a lot better lines. So these are just some lines for detail and cross-hatching, and didn't want to get too crazy with it because we already have the ink wash going on in there, but it needed a little something. And then finally, the final touch is this little spider web in white ink, which is also Dr. P.H. Martin's. Enjoy.
Well, all right, and here's where we wound up with it. I think turned out pretty good, and hopefully you feel the same way. I'll put it over here for the socials. Whoa, vertical format. That's what the kids are doing these days. Anyway, if you like that, stick around or watch this other video that the YouTube algorithm picked out specifically for you. It knows what you like.